Hi guys, welcome to another lesson of Algebra 2. Our lesson today is creating and explaining graph. So our learning objectives, we are learning how to draw a graph that reflects a detailed story. I will learn how to explain my reasoning for each segment of a graph that represents a detailed story. And this lesson requires a lot of writing, but this is the only lesson that requires a lot of writing, and after that, they're just numbers, yeah, and very limited words. So hang on there, and let's dive in. Read the following story, then answer the questions. There was a heavy rainstorm yesterday morning. It started raining heavily at 4 a.m., but by 8 a.m., let's kind of highlight them. So it was not raining until 4 a.m., right? So by 4 a.m., the rain has started. But then at 8 a.m., so that's why 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. the storm was over with a total rainfall of 6 inches. Okay, so we have 6 inches here. It didn't rain for the rest of the day anymore. Two-thirds, okay, two-thirds, 2 over 3. Two-thirds of the day's rain had fallen by 6 a.m. Okay, so from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., because remember 4 a.m. was the rain, that's when the rain started. So 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., two-thirds of the rain had already fallen. But then it didn't stop at 6 a.m., it started at 8 a.m. in the morning, right? A.m. morning. During each time interval, the rain fell at a constant rate. Okay. Now, I would like you guys to pause the video and try to answer the following questions on your own and come back to the video when you're done. All right. I hope you actually tried this on your own before coming to check your answers. Let's start to answer. What was the total number of inches of rain at midnight? Okay, midnight, so that's when before this rain started at 4 a.m. Was there any rain at midnight? I don't think so, right? It didn't say anything. So I think because there was no rain, we can put there 0 inches. Okay? What was the total number of inches of rain at 4 a.m.? Total number of inches of rain at 4 a.m. It didn't start raining yet, right? So it just started right at 4 a.m. So at that time, by 4 a.m., there is no inches of rain yet. So that should be 0. Okay? What do you guys think? We're good? Moving on. Does the total of inches of rain change between midnight and 4 a.m.? And because it's from midnight to 4 a.m. is all 0, so that one didn't change. Okay? What is the total number of inches of rain by 8 a.m.? By 8 a.m. that's when it stopped, and the total rainfall was 6, so this should be 6. Okay? What is the total number of inches of rain at noon? Okay, so the rain stopped at 8, so by noon time, like 12 p.m., that still should be 6 inches because there's no more rain. Does the total number of inches of rain change between 8 a.m. and noon? It stopped at 8 a.m., so all the way to noon, do you think there were changes? There shouldn't be any change, right? So it should be a no. Yay. Okay, moving on. Number 7. What is the total number of inches of rain at 6 a.m.? 6 a.m. It says that from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., two-thirds of the rain had fallen. So what is the two-thirds of 6? So is that two-thirds times 6? Is it? And that would be 4 inches, right? 2 times 6 would be 12 divided by 3. So we have 4 inches of rain had fallen between 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Moving on. You have to sketch a graph, possible graph for the total number of inches of rain as a function of time. So function of time, so we put time on the x-axis, and we have from midnight to noon. Okay, midnight, so that's 12 in the night time, right? To noon, 12 at noon, in the afternoon. But instead of using the number 12 to represent midnight, let me highlight that, we're going to use T of 0 to represent midnight and T of 12 to represent noon. Because wouldn't it be confusing if we start at 12 in here, like we start 12 in here, and then we also end at 12. That is so confusing, isn't it? So to avoid confusion, we start, and then of course, if you're going to make numbers, we're going to start 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So we're going to start at 0, but the 0 does not mean 0 midnight, so or like 0 hour. The 0 would just mean midnight in here, and then 12 would mean the noon. Okay? Then move your answer. Okay, so from midnight 0 to 4 a.m. 0, how do we represent that the rainfall did not change from 0? Like, what line do we use to represent that? Okay, can you guys pause the video, stop the video for now, and try to graph it on your own? Okay? All right, welcome back. I hope you guys tried to graph on your own. And here you go. So I'm gonna put over here, it's a 0, right? So I can put 0 in there. So we put 0. So you have 0 for midnight, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all the way. And then we have over here the total inches of rain. Again, this line right here is another 0, 0 inches of rain. And then I have 6 because that's the total number, the total amount of rainfall, right? Okay, and because from 0, remember from 0, that's from midnight to 4 a.m., nothing happened. And so I am drawing right here, if you can see it, a horizontal line. A horizontal line tells us that the time is passing, but there is no changes in the inches of rain. Okay? And then from 4 a.m., it says from 4 a.m., let me just cover that there. From 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., remember that total inches of rain was 4 inches. 2/3, right? 2/3 of the rain had fallen from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. And that's why I'm drawing an increasing line coming from 4 going to 6 at 4 inches. And then the rain continued from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock at a total inches of rain of 6 inches. Okay, and that's why there's another increasing line from 6 to 8. And then from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, again, the time is passing, the time increases, but there is no more changes in the inches of rain. And that is how the graph should look like. Okay, let's move on. Now, our job is to interpret or to label, because we said we label, right? And it says here that we need to say something about each segment. So we need to interpret what this means and what this means and what everything means. Okay, first, so we draw a horizontal line, right? From 0, from this point to this point. And then we did an increasing line from this point to this point. Another increasing line from this point to this point. And lastly, another horizontal line from this point to that point. So how are we gonna say our statement? Okay, let's rank them from 4 as being the best way to describe and 1 being the worst way to describe. Okay, so let's go back. What is this point, by the way, here? This is 0, comma 0, right? So this is 0, comma 0. And this one is 4, comma 0. This one is 6, comma 4. This one is 8, comma 6. And this one is 12, comma 6. Okay. So for the first segment, which way is the best way to describe? Is it saying I draw a horizontal line from t equals 0 to t equals 4? Or is it better to say I draw a line? Just saying a line, it could be any kind of line, but it just says a line. That doesn't seem right? Because we have to describe which line, what line it looks like. So I think we have two best choices in here. I draw a horizontal line from 0, comma 0 to 4, comma 0. And then the other one is I draw a horizontal line from t equals 0 to t equals 4. But you have to tell me, you have to rank which one is the best. Okay? Now pause the video again and rank all of them and come back when you're done. Okay. Hopefully you did it on your own first. And let's see over here. And I hope you agree that the best way to describe the first segment is this one. Right? I draw a horizontal line from 0, comma 0 to 4, comma 0. And I think the next line is best described. I draw an increasing line from 4, comma 0 to 6, comma 0. Okay? Now, if I'm going to be grading your test, your quiz next week, I'll be grading it this way. If you say I draw a line from t, comma 0 to t, comma 4, I'll give you a 1. If you say I draw a horizontal line from t equals 0 to t equals 4, I'll give you a 3. So in order for you to get the full credit, you have to say I draw a horizontal line from this point 0, 0 to this point 4, comma 0. Okay? And then that's the second line. And I think you kind of get the idea of what it is, right? And let's highlight how it's an increasing line. And if you have a highlighter, I think it's best to highlight them. I'm highlighting with my mouse. It's kind of like, it looks weird, right? It's not straight. Okay, moving on. Let's put them together. For each of the following, fill in the blanks to complete the reasoning. Fill in the blanks to complete the reasoning for each point. You know how, let me go back quickly here, right? You know how when I said a 0, comma 0, over here, this point, what do you mean by 0? What do you mean by this first 0? And what do you mean by the other 0? Or for 4, comma 0, what do you mean by the first 4? What do you mean by the other number 0? Okay? And we will be describing that over here. 0, comma 0 represents that at a time t equals, what was that? T equals 0. And the 0 means midnight. So this is a template that you guys can follow for your next for the next activity also. So this means the time and this means the inches, right? So we'll just fill that 0 in here. So time is 4 means 4 a.m. 0, it started raining at 4 a.m. and 0 means that it did not change. And then time t equals 6. There were, of course, 4 inches of rain because this is the 2/3 of 6 inches. And we have 8, comma 6. 8 means that the t equals 8 means 8 a.m. The 6 means 6 inches. And then that's 12. And then that's 8 a.m. because it was over by 8 a.m. And of course, the 6 means that from the first from earlier, from 6 inches, at 12 o'clock, it was still 6 inches because there was no rain anymore. Yeah? There's a lot of writing, I know. But hold on, we're gonna get there. So officially, this is how you would describe all of them. So in the paper that you guys have, you guys are gonna be describing it this way. So I draw a horizontal line from this. Let's connect them, right? I draw a horizontal line from 0, 0 to 4, 0. And then the explanation for that would be both of these. And then for the second line, the explanation of that is over here. And then so on and so forth. Yeah? So you can just kind of copy this whole entire thing and come up with the whole entire explanation for this topic or for the graph that you made earlier. Okay? Let us practice. There was a rainstorm yesterday morning. It started raining lightly at 5 a.m. But by 10 a.m., the storm was over with a total rainfall of 3 inches. So it kind of didn't start as early as earlier. Earlier it was 4 a.m., now it's 5 a.m. And the total rainfall is only 3 compared to 6 earlier. It didn't rain for the rest of the day. 1/3 of the day's rain had fallen by 8 a.m. During each time interval, the rain fell at a constant rate. So 1/3, okay? So 1/3, 1/3 times 3 or later. Sketch the possible graph for the total number of inches of rain as a function of time. So time is on the x-axis from midnight to noon. Again, you're going to be using t equals 0 to represent the midnight and t equals 12 to represent noon. Be sure to label your x's and explain in complete sentences your reasoning for each segment of the graph. Okay? Try it on your own and